Is this Social Security tax calculator right? Is it worth it? We're going to dive in here and see. All right, so my man Savas, my Greek man, who sent me this. You know, Greeks are stepping up, man. Where are you Americans? Come on. I'm not saying Savas isn't American, but he's Greek. Is Savas from Crete? Cretan? Is he a Cretan? That's what the people who lived on the Isle of Crete in Greece are called Cretans. If memory serves, Paul called them Cretans too in the Bible, actually, but I can't remember. Anyway, taxable Social Security benefit calculator. All right, so what we got here, we got a married couple filing jointly. They got $75,000 of Social. You can enter all this. What I did, $75,000 of Social Security, $20,000 of pension income, and the software says they're going to have $17,475 of their taxable of their Social Security benefits. $17,475 will be subject to taxation. Interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to manually figure this out ourselves, and then we're going to go to Right Capital, and we're going to see. So what we do is we take our $75,000 of Social Security, all right, you got to divide that by 2. Why you got to divide it by 2? Because we got to figure out our provisional income, which determines how much of our Social Security benefit is subject to taxation. And that's going to be 70, let me just make sure I got this right. It's $3,750, yeah, $37,500. Plus they got a pension income or IRA distribution. It doesn't matter. Ordinary income, not earned income. I mean, earned income is different, but that's subject to FICA. All we're talking about right now is how much of our Social Security benefit is subject to taxation. So then we got pension income of $20,000. That gives us our provisional income is $57,500. All right. Again, provisional income, as simple as this: half of your Social Security plus your other income. Income is not a return of principal in a Roth IRA or a CD. A CD, interest income will be added to that. Dividends are added to that. Municipal bond interest is added to that. But return of principal, like a bank account, a certificate of deposit, a return of a Roth is not included in provisional income. All right, so we know our provisional income was $57,500. Now, the provisional income rules are, we got to figure out how much of this is subject to Social Security taxation. How much of that is subject to taxation? All right, so the provisional income rules is that the first $32,000, nothing. So we can immediately say the first $32,000, that $57,500 is free and clear of any tax, all right? So $32,000, which leaves us with was that $25,500? Yeah, $25,500. All right. The next $12,000 is 50% of that is subject to taxation. The next $12,000, 50% of that is. So that's pretty easy to figure that out. So we know it's going to be $6,000 is subject to taxation. All right. $6,000 is subject to taxation, and the remaining amount, which would be what, $13,500. 85% of that amount is subject to taxation. So 13,500 times 0.85, 11,475. All right. So if my calculator is correct, where's the plus button? Right there. I was like, dude, am I losing my mind? Their taxable Social Security should be $17,475. $17,475. All right, and because we take the first $32,000 not subject, the next $12,000, $6,000, the next anything above anything above 44 is 85% of that. 11,475 plus 6,000, the provisional income or the amount that's of the Social Security benefit that's subject to taxation is 17,475. And what did the calculator show us? I think it showed us that actually. Yep, 17,475. Let's go to Right Capital. Make sure that showed us the same. 75,000 Social Security benefits, $20,000 pension, 17,475 is their taxable Social Security. So this calculator is spot freaking on. Good job, boys. All right, so let's get rid of this, and let's just make sure they got, we'll say there's no pension income, they're just living off Social Security. This should say now 0 is their taxable Social Security benefit. They say 20, all right, no, I should back up. It won't be taxed because there's a standard deduction, but they say their taxable Social Security benefit is $2,750, and we can do the calculation on that again if we want, but I'd rather don't feel like doing it. It's actually pretty easy to do. All right, so let's just do that. We got $75,000 of Social Security. Remember, this is the amount that's subject to taxation, not their taxable amount. It's still kind of, I mean, you always just got to remember, provisional income, all it does is figure out how much of your Social Security is subject to taxation before your standard deductions, itemized, and all that. All right, so here we just figured out again, $75,000 is our income. We're going to figure out how much of our Social Security is subject to taxation. Divide that by 2, it's $37,500. All right, the first 32,000 of this is free and clear, which leaves us $5,500 is what we got subject to taxation, but we got to divide that by 2 because only 50% of that is subject to taxation. So 5,500 divided by 2, 2750, just like these guys said. Now, hey, these guys are all right, dude. Now this is for advisor use only. So if you're not an advisor, don't use this. So that's good. This calculator is spot on. And we'll even go back to Right Capital. We'll get rid of old Heavy Kevy's pension here, and we'll show you it's gonna be the same thing. And we got his pension. How come you don't have Ann with a pension? Oh, you're so misogynist. Well, guilty as charged, baby. Guilty as charged. Whatever your definition of misogynist is not mine. My definition of misogynist, my definition of a woman is someone who's freaking taking care of the house, taking care of the family. Freaking, she is a core that drives it. That doesn't mean she can't work. If any of your women out there working, I'm not saying you shouldn't work. The woman is a foundation of the household, man. Life is, the first feminist, I hate to say feminist, but Jesus was the first feminist, dude. The woman drives everything. That doesn't mean men just go, yes, ma'am. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the idea I'm misogynist because Kevin's the one out there grinding the freaking gears. Well, Ann isn't. Maybe she's got a job in a white collar facility. Maybe she's a doctor. I don't know. Maybe she stays at home. I don't know. But most women do not do the work in terms of what the blue collar stuff that used to be the pension drivers. Now, there's a lot of government pensions. Most of those are still going to be men. You know why? Military, U.S. Marshals, FBI, still a heavily, predominantly man focused there, dude. That's just all there is to it. So for all of you, freaking pound sand there, lady, or male feminists in particular, pound sand. This isn't a place for freaking snowies. We don't need snowy McGee's here. It's not misogynist to state an obviously fact that the vast majority of people who get a pension are going to be men because they do it in laborious work environment, military environment, or the law enforcement environment, which is what? Men. That's what men do. Now, on the other hand, teachers do the pensions for teachers, so I grant you that 100%. But teachers still, the predominantly women, absolutely. So I don't belabor that in the least. But at the end of the day, the household should revolve around the woman because the woman is maternal. She's maternal. This isn't rocket science here, man. Maternal instincts. You ever had, just real quick side note, if you're married, you notice your woman is a better judge of character by and large than you are? You ever see that? And put a yes if you agree to that. If your experience is that your wife is a better judge of character than you. Because my wife is. She's got the freaking spidey senses, dude. The maternal instincts kick in. A little bit too much, frankly. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want my kids to ever get hurt or anything. I mean, she's not quite like that, but a little bit too much. That's the issue with a man comes in. It's like, dude, they need to rub some dirt on it. That's what makes a marriage so great. Is you got a woman who's like, got to protect our kids from everything. I'm like, no, they got to get exposed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to meet of minds in the middle, man. That's just funny. Charlotte, though, she's always, I'm just gullible, dude. Josh, I just got laid off from my work. I need $30 million to pay. Oh, here you go. My wife's like, fake. I don't even know where we got off that. I know people are like, how dare you? Anyway, so here we go. So that 27 is their, yeah, look at that. 2,700 is their taxable Social Security. They pay no tax. Their taxable income is 0. And this is going to be the tax torpedo because we just added, $20,000 of a pension, and they went from 0. So if we just add a pension of $20,000, they went from no tax to, I gotta go back to doing videos on tax torpedo because it's fun. No tax to what? I forgot what it was. Oh, still $600. No big deal. Yes, that's no big deal. It's really though when your Social Security is like 40,000 where that really hurts you, man. Anyways, that's a pretty good calculator, man. I like it. So good on these guys. So you should run it. And I put it in your little bookmarks. I'm going to do the same. I will see you.